This video is sponsored by Hasselblad. Today, we're going out and using the new 35-100 f2.8 to f4 E lens from Hasselblad. It's honestly a pretty revolutionary lens, giving you kind of that normal standard zoom lens capability in a medium format camera. And as someone who has the 38V, the 55V, and the 90V, my curiosity really lies in how much can this lens do to possibly replace all of those prime lenses. Now, while I'm going to structure this in a similar way to how I would structure a review, this is more of a product showcase, as I don't believe that videos that are compensated in any way by the manufacturer can be actual reviews. So I do get to keep this lens as part of kind of an ongoing thing I've had with Hasselblad for years now. And I'm going to do all the same comparisons and things that I would normally try to do, but this is going to be, again, more of like an experience thing and some thoughts about this, but know that ethically, there's no way I'm gonna call this a review. Now, right off the bat, this thing is really, really great for if you are going out to make photos specifically and wanna bring just a single lens. This encompasses all of the prime lenses that I have in this system currently. My widest prime is a 38mm, and the 35 then becomes even a little bit wider. And my longest lens is a 90mm. This goes to 100. So it completely encapsulates the three prime lenses that I typically use. And in my work as a photographer, the vast majority of images that I take are in that 28-70 kind of range. And the way that most of us do these calculations as far as converting them to what a rough 35mm field of view would be is multiplying the focal length by 0.79, which then roughly gives us a 28 to 75 to 80-ish millimeter range, which obviously is incredibly beneficial and useful. Now, this lens is definitely not small, but I will say that when I unboxed it, when I first took it out, it was significantly lighter than I was anticipating. If you are watching these videos and you haven't handled one in person, you would assume that this is going to be really, really, really heavy, and it's honestly not as bad as I was anticipating. It's still heavy, don't get me wrong, but they did a really good job of keeping the weight down while still being able to include all of the things they needed to. I think another really obvious aspect of this is how good the grip is on all of the X1D, 2D, X2D2 cameras are. It's really, really deep and makes this much easier to handhold. It does take 86mm filters, so if that's something that you are going to be using on this system, just know that you're going to have to kind of bump up to either a 95mm filter thread and use a step-up ring, or obviously you can just buy 86mm filters, but it is going to be one of the things that is a little bit abnormal about this lens. Now, one of the things I'll mention, and I don't think this is that big of a deal, but the way that the aperture moves from f2.8 to f4 is pretty sudden and pretty immediate. You definitely can photograph at 35mm at f2.8, but as soon as you start to move that ring, even when I'm looking in Lightroom, it'll still say 35mm is the focal length, and it will have already switched to 3.2. So know that really the only focal length you're getting at 2.8 is the 35mm focal length, and then it moves throughout the range and changes to f4 around 70mm. I don't think this is a big deal at all. Even if they made this entire lens to be a constant f4 aperture lens, it would still be really, really impressive. But I definitely do appreciate the availability to get a little bit more light in and a little bit more subject separation on some of the wider focal lengths. As far as focusing goes, this thing is very, very fast, very, very accurate. I would assume part of that is going to be because they were engineering the lens and the camera to kind of release at the same time. And so of the lenses that I have, which currently are, again, the V-series lenses from 38, 55, and 90, and then as well as this E-series lens, the 35-100, it is the snappiest lens. The V-series is not bad by any means. I will just say that this does a really, really good job of grabbing focus. And it's kind of the best example of how good the new focusing is on the X2D2. Now, like I mentioned, if I'm going out to take some landscape photos or something, this is a really, really good focal length for me. I know a lot of other landscape photographers would love to pair this with their other E-series lens, like the 20-35, and getting a wider perspective is really great. But for an average kind of travel and landscape lens, this thing is super, super versatile. I will also add, while I don't do a ton of commercial and corporate work, the times that I do, this lens is going to be fantastic for that, for product photography, having the versatility of this camera, and especially pairing it with the leaf shutter, the availability to flash sync at any shutter speed, as well as having that full normal kind of focal length and focal range is going to make this really, really useful. For those curious, I've also done side-by-side comparisons just where I stuck this thing on a tripod and took some photos of my 907X with each focal length at their maximum aperture or most wide open aperture, just so you can see how much more subject separation there is. Obviously, you're gonna know that there's going to be more light gathering on the V-series lenses if you are using them at f2.5. Now, I know the images are going to have an appearance of a shallower depth of field just because they're on medium format than they would be on 35mm, but I was actually fairly surprised at how similar the images looked and how similar the background out of focus areas looked in most of the comparisons here. So I know this lens is still actually really hard to come by, and it seems like it's always back ordered, but if you are someone that is new to this system and you want a really, really great all-around lens, this is obviously kind of a no-brainer in that situation. I will say one of the things that I probably wouldn't necessarily recommend about this would be that if you want to purchase this and your only camera was the 907X, I think the thing I love about the 907X the most is the fact that it is just so small and portable. And not that this is impossible to use, but it is significantly bigger, and you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, especially if you have the external grip that goes with the 907X as well. But I do find this to be a much better pairing with the large grip that's on the X2D2. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. Thanks again to Hasselblad for partnering with me in this video and allowing me access to such amazing gear. If you want to check out my video on the X2D2, you can do that up here. Check out my video on the 55V up here, and I will see you in one of those.